Hello, welcome to Surrey. Surrey with Jiayanu. Just honk. We are so happy that you are here. We are so excited because we are together. We will build British Columbia and we will build re-confidence back. And Surrey will take the rightful place in BC. So what I'm going to do, I will be introducing all the Surrey candidates. मैं सब तो पहला, first of all, the first candidate from Surrey Cloverdale, Marvin Hunt. Go ahead. Surrey Guildford, our candidate, Dave Hunts. From Surrey White Rock, Trevor Hatford. From Surrey Green Timbers, Dilraj Atwal. And from Surrey Newton, Paul Boparai. And from Surrey Valley, Shaukat Khan. And my name is Dr. Gulzar Chima from Surrey Panorama. And from Surrey Fleetwood, Gary Thin. Now it gives me a great pleasure to welcome the next Premier of this province, Andrew Wilkinson.
Just one question. Is there anybody here from Surrey? Thank you for being here, because we have some work to do. Most of you live within 25 kilometers of here, and you've built a good life here. There's the chance to get ahead, the chance to invest in yourself, the chance to invest in your family, the chance to build a life, and the chance to build your community. But we have a problem. We have in Surrey and North Delta 10 MLAs. Right now, 3 of them are BC Liberals. We have seven NDP MLAs. 3 of them have been cabinet ministers. And we look around Surrey and North Delta and we say, we've had them for 3.5 years. What have they produced? Does anybody here work in trucking? Have they done anything about truck parking or broker regulation? Anything at all? No. Anybody here work in the taxi business? I think you might agree with this. Did you get a great deal from the NDP, or did you get screwed over by the NDP? There should have been a level playing field, but now there's no playing field at all. The NDP came in and they said, don't worry, you've got 250 portable classrooms in Surrey. Half of them will be gone by 2019, and all of them will be gone by 2021. You know how many portables you got now? It's not going to zero, it's up to 380. Was that a failure by the NDP education minister? What do you think? Has anybody here ever gone through the Dease Island George Massey Tunnel and waited and waited and waited and waited and burnt fuel and screwed up your transmission on your truck and run out of gas and missed a flight and not gotten to the soccer game on time? Anybody ever done that? So, what did the NDP do? We got a deal for a 10-lane bridge. It was under construction. 6 kilometers of sand preload was put down to prepare the construction site. $95 million was spent. And the NDP came in and said, sorry, just kidding, and canceled it. Was that the wrong thing to do? And let's talk about hospitals, their favorite topic. They're going to bring you a hospital. Everybody gets a hospital in the NDP. You'll get one in your backyard. Just vote for the NDP. Well, let me tell you something about hospitals. Since 1991, the NDP have been in office for 13 years. They promised the Abbotsford Hospital 12 times. They did nothing. The NDP, in 13 years in office, have built a total of 0 hospitals in British Columbia. The BC Liberals had 16 years in office, about the same amount of time. We built 14 hospitals. Our candidate, Dr. Chima, knows about Surrey Memorial Hospital. I had privileges at Surrey Memorial Hospital back when I was doing temporary doctor work. Our Dr. Dong, who's the candidate in Burnaby North, is a cardiologist at Surrey Memorial Hospital. So let's look at what the BC Liberals have done for Surrey over the years. It's a pretty long list. Portman Bridge, Golden Ears Bridge, South Fraser Perimeter Road, SFU Surrey Campus, SFU Engineering Building, Guru Nanak Pavilion at Surrey Memorial Hospital, Jim Pattison Outpatient Pavilion. That's performance compared to the NDP, who have delivered you nothing. So, do we have a chance to turn the tide and get Surrey back into the center of British Columbia's politics? Because there's something pretty important going on here. It's about how you get treated by your elected officials. You put your faith in the people you vote for. And then when they've been successful because of your work, you turn to them and you say, there was an understanding that you would make this community better. There was an understanding when you said there'd be a South Surrey hospital. Dr. Chima and this team and I and Dr. Dong know how to build and operate hospitals. If there is a BC Liberal government, when there is a BC Liberal government, there will be a second hospital in South Surrey. Because the core of this is about whether you are treated with respect by your elected officials. It's a relationship that's built on trust. You trusted them when they went to Victoria to sit in the legislature to spend $66 billion of your money. That's $13,200 for every living, breathing human being in this province. In that minivan over there, that's about $80,000 a year of your money that gets spent. When you vote for them, they owe you the deal you signed up for. And with the NDP MLAs, they broke that trust. They took your votes the last time around, and now they're just laughing at you. They're saying, don't worry, we'll get around to it. It'll come later. Just trust us again. Just give us your votes, and then you can go home. That is disrespect, and you deserve respect from your elected officials. Is that right? So, tomorrow, if you haven't voted already, you have the chance to go to the polling station and say, this time I'm voting for a party that brought me the South Fraser Perimeter Road, that brought me the Golden Ears Bridge, that brought me the Port Mann, that tripled the size of the Surrey Memorial Hospital, that brought you Simon Fraser Surrey campus. We can do better, and we will do better, and it's going to take an election to do it where you decide to stand up for yourself and vote for the BC Liberals. Is that okay? Yeah. Because tomorrow can be a big turning point in this society. Instead of a party that brought you 23 new or increased taxes, instead of a party that talked down to you for 3 years, instead of a party that refused to meet in their constituency offices, instead of a party with a sort of a cabinet minister who was under investigation for 6 months and delivered you nothing. Instead of that disrespectful, low-performance NDP record, we offer you the chance to get ahead. Because we are built on some pretty important principles. Everybody in this province is equal. It doesn't matter where you were born. It doesn't matter how much money you've got. It doesn't matter what your ethnic background is. Everybody in this province deserves a fair deal. What do you think of that? So let's talk about construction. There's a lot of construction. If you're the operator of this machine, if you own this machine, if you're the operator of that dump truck, if you're one of the gravel trucks in the back around the corner, do you deserve to have access to every single bit of government contracting in this province? Do you think so? And when the NDP come along and say, oh, Pattullo Bridge, Broadway subway, any other highway construction, we've decided just only our friends can bid on that project. Only our friends are allowed to work on those projects. And by the way, you're not my friend, because you didn't give to the party 20 years ago. That is so fundamentally wrong, because every single construction worker in this province deserves the right to work on provincial construction projects. Is that right? So, that's what fairness means. That's what equality means. That's what opportunity means. It's the chance to say, I know how to do my job. I'm actually really good at my job. And nobody is going to talk down to me like the NDP talked down to me. Nobody can treat me like a second-class citizen. And it'll never happen under a BC Liberal government. Is that okay? Now, we're all sitting in our cars for a good reason. We're in a COVID epidemic. The numbers are going up. We've got to be careful. We've got to follow the rules. We'll get through this pandemic together, especially if we have 3 medical doctors in the cabinet room. But we're going to come into a big slowdown. It's happening already. Some of you already felt it. You see the restaurants closing. You see the shops putting up their brown paper and the for lease signs. There's trouble coming. 1 out of every 4 small businesses in BC expects to go out of business forever in the next 12 months. We've got trouble coming, folks. And it requires a plan. The NDP plan? Here's a check for $1,000. Go home, shut up. You've got over. Don't come back and ask us for any more. That's not a plan. Does anybody think that's just a cheap bribe and you're better than that? There's a better way. We've got a plan. It's going to have to be bold. We're going to have to get rid of the provincial sales tax for a year so that when this man buys a new truck for $300,000, he doesn't pay $21,000 in sales tax. So that when you go to buy this high forklift for $160,000, you don't pay $11,200 in sales tax. And so when a struggling family, working minimum wage jobs, working really hard, working long hours, they are the people who benefit most from getting rid of the sales tax. Because it's a regressive tax. It hurts people at the bottom of the ladder the most. And we want to get rid of it to give them a chance to get ahead. One over here. But that's just the first step. That wouldn't amount to a bold plan. That's step 1. Step 2, get rid of small business income tax forever. Is that okay? Number 3, step 3. If you're involved in tourism or hospitality, this has been the worst year of your life. 150,000 people in British Columbia are wondering if they're going to have a job after Christmas because they work in hotels and restaurants and tourism, all the things that are related to it, like these big buses that are sitting idle now. We went over to charter bus lines in Delta, 150 buses, $600,000 each. How many of them are in use right now? 8. Imagine carrying that debt burden. Imagine all the employees who've been sent home. We need to have bridge financing to help our tourism and hospitality people get through the winter so when the tourists come back, there'll be something for them to do and not an empty landscape of bankrupt companies. That's number 4. And you haven't forgotten about that bridge, have you? There's a tunnel over there that's 62 years old, that's way out of date, way too small, and it's time for promise number 4, which is we will immediately restart construction on the Massey Tunnel Bridge replacement and make your life better. Item number 5. Anybody here got relatives in their senior years beyond 70? Anybody like that here? Where is the safest place for our seniors and elders in the middle of a disease epidemic? Where is the safest place? In the comfort and security of their own home. We can help them to stay in their own home longer by providing $7,000 a year in tax credits for housekeeping and home repairs and home care so they don't have to move out. Number 6, if you've got a family with little kids and both parents trying to work, it's tough if you can't find daycare. So we say, in this pandemic, it's time. We've got to support affordable daycare. We've got to get it online. No more complicated waiting lists and phoning around. We've got to get daycare available for everybody who needs it at an affordable price. That's number 6. How's that? How about number 7? Does anybody know how to spell the word ICBC? And if you're looking to insure that truck or that bus or that taxi or anything else, wouldn't it be nice to have a choice? So you could say, well, that's not good enough. Show me the other option. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Let's end the ICBC monopoly. And how about number 8? Young drivers, give them a couple of years credit. Don't hammer young people by saying you want to get a part-time job, you want to go to college, you got to get around. Here's a really cheap vehicle, $1,500, $2,000. I drive a vehicle that's worth $2,400. It's 14 years old. If I arrange for my daughter to take that vehicle, it becomes hers, she will pay $5,600 a year in insurance for a $2,400 vehicle. Is that wrong? So let's give young people a break. That was item number 8. How about item number 9? It's a sad truth that just about everybody in this province knows someone who's died of a drug overdose. I can name 3 young men who I knew who died in the last 2 years from drug overdoses. Good people. We've got to do a better job on this, folks. We've got to provide a pathway to get people off drugs. And item number 9, we're going to find a way to prevent people to get addicted in the first place. I practiced medicine. He practiced medicine. We can monitor the prescription profile of people. It's done in 49 U.S. states, and it's a way to get people out of using drugs before they get addicted. Would that be a good idea? And one more. It's time for a review of taxation in British Columbia. Does anybody here think that small businesses can continue to absorb these massive increases in property taxes? It's just not possible to survive when you get a property tax bill from the landlord that says, sorry, your property tax bill just doubled. How about condominium insurance? Oh, here's your bill. It's gone up 400%. We have got to get the cost of living under control, and that starts with a review of the 23 new NDP taxes as soon as you get a BC Liberal government in office. Is that okay? So you can see, you've got a choice. Your family's got a choice. Everybody you know's got a choice. Everybody who can vote tomorrow has a choice. You can go down the NDP pathway of trying to just figure it out and here's a $1,000 check and go home and shut up. Or you can say, I'm going to take control of my circumstances. I know who I am. I'm good at what I do. I work hard. And I want a government that knows what I'm after, that knows that we need to get ready for this post-pandemic world, that knows we've got an economy in trouble, a government that thinks it through, a government with skilled, expert people like these, a government that will represent you in Victoria and make a difference in your life. You have a choice. You have to vote. So let's make this election about choice, about building a future, about restoring the confidence in our people, about rebuilding BC so that this man driving that truck 10 hours a day can say to himself, I'm going to be in control of my circumstances and the NDP are not going to tell me how to live. Is that the right way to go? So, folks, we got a choice. We have less than 28 hours to change the destiny of this province. And make no mistake, if you go down the path that we are suggesting, if you like what we are proposing, you can make all the difference right here in Surrey, North Delta. You can elect BC Liberals, and you can be in charge of your future, and you can go home and say, I am proud of who I am, and I have a government that respects me, that is going to build British Columbia. Let's make that choice together. Let's vote BC Liberal and get all of these people in the legislature. Thank you.
Let's say thank you. Let's say big thank you to our next premier of this province who has been working hard for the last so many years. ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੈਸਟ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰੀ ਨੂੰ BC ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣਾ ਤੇ NDP ਨੂੰ ਹਟਾਉਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਟਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰੋ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਜੌਬਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਕਟ ਕਰੋ ਲੈਟਸ ਸੇ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਟੂ Andrew Wilkinson